What's happening, guys? Let's talk about decorator pattern. Let me give you some context before I talk about that. Actually, you know what? I just started a car shop. Actually, I started a car production shop, right? I have my own car company. Nah, I'm just kidding. But for the sake of this tutorial, let's just assume that I have one. And you know, my car company is so awesome that everything in the car is just sold out separately. What do I even mean? I mean, you know, you will just get one car, and inside that car, if you want to add a seat, you have to pay me extra. If you want to add a music system to the car, you have to pay me extra. If you want to add a maybe even, you know, things like a camera to the car, you have to pay me extra. So with that being said, you know how much of a selfish guy I am. I'm going to start this company to just make money. So let's get started and let me swindle money from you guys. No, guys, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I guess you got the context, and with that context, let's get started. So if I want to do this sort of a thing, my first goal would be to just create a basic car class. Okay, and in this basic car, I'm going to just say, let's say public int cost, and I would say return 100. So this is the cost of my car. Now you know how much awesome my car is, right? Anyway, so now let's say I want to add AC to this car. So what I will do is I would say, okay, basic car with AC, right? And then inside this class, I'm going to say, oh man, come on, yeah, public int cost, and I'm going to say return 150 bucks, because you know, 50 bucks for AC. Come on, yeah, car only costs 100, AC costs 50. That's how I make money off of you guys. Oh yeah, okay. And then I'm going to say basic car with cushion seats. If you want a good car, you better buy my car, which is just going to be with cushion. And then I'm going to say public int cost, and then I'm going to say return. So yeah, 100 bucks for car, and then 70 bucks for cushioning. So it's going to be 170. Not a big deal, right? You guys are anyway rich. So let's just go and create our main class, and then you will see what sort of a mess my code is. Now, if I say basic car is going to be a, let's say my name is Rockshit, I'm going to say rock car is going to be a new basic car. Okay, now I'm going to say rock car. Wait, I'm going to say s out. Ooh, wait a second. The problem is I didn't say psvm, public static void main. So I'm just going to come in here and say basic car rock car is a new basic car, and then I'm going to say s out. And inside that, I'm going to say rockcar.cost. And if I run this, you see, it's 100 bucks. Now let's just talk about my car where I have an AC extension to it, right? So this is basic car. Okay. And then I'm going to come in, I'm just, you know, going to copy this code, but I'm going to say this time it's not a basic car, this is a basic car with AC, and then this is rock car AC, and then it's going to be a basic car with AC. And you see how much of a junk pattern this is. Okay, basic car comma AC, right? And then I'm going to say rock car, not rock car, this time it is going to be rock car AC dot cost, and run this. So for the first time, it's going to cost me, I mean, if I just want car, it is just basic car, which is going to be 100 bucks. and at this point I'm going to comment these 2 lines of code because these 2 are not useful anymore. And then if I run this again, look at this now. I have basic car, comma AC. I'm going to add a colon here. Come on. Yeah. So it's going to be $150. And let's just even consider further to build this on, and we will really understand what sort of a mess we are getting into in a few moments from now. Okay, now I'm going to just copy this code and I'm going to paste it, and I'm going to say basic car with cushion. Okay, rock car cushion, right? It's going to be basic car with cushion. Okay, and then I'm going to say basic car, comma, CUSHION, right? And then it's going to cost the rock car cushion dot cost. Now this time if I run, I am going to get basic car, comma, cushion, which is $170, which is what, you know, can you see what sort of a trouble that we are getting into? Like, if let's just imagine that I want to add another pair of extensions. Let's say I want to add a camera, then it would be basic car with camera, right? If I want to add maybe, let us say, a music system, if you will, so then this is going to be added up, right? On top of that, let us just imagine that, so all these basic amenities are formed. Now what if our customer comes, you know, I have a customer who is very specific, right? So he wants to have a car which is all decorated with, you know, what if he wanted to have something like this with music system, right? With cushioning, with you know, AC, with camera, you know, things of that sort. And maybe he wanted to have, you know, things like extra things like, you know, self-driving enabled, which is going to happen, right? So what if our customer wanted all these things and then we didn't have all these classes, right? So the biggest drawback in this pattern is, number one, and the major drawback is that this pattern, whatever we are coding at this point, is such a ridiculous thing, because we never know what kind of classes we want during our execution time, you know, during the deployment, during the production time. We never know what it is that we want from the customer. So, and then we can't even hard code this. If we just even think of hard coding everything, so basic car with AC is a hard coded one because we are hard coding basic car and AC. Likewise, basic car with cushion is hard coded, which is not something that is you know, appreciated. Likewise, if we keep continuing and chaining everything one together and all of that, number one, we are going to end up with a bunch of classes. I would say an explosion of classes is the right term, right? It is an explosion of classes, which would then lead us to just even curse ourselves once we look back at the code. Because, you know, if there is another extension, then you have to add another class. And then there is one more big trouble. And that trouble is, let us say the cost of the basic car went up. Let us say the basic car cost is $900 now. What would you do now for someone who is going to be basic car with AC? Now you're going to say, oh, 900 plus 150, right? And then basic car with cushion. No, it's not 170, it is 900 plus 170, right? You know, that sort of thing is just insane when we have hundreds of classes. So is there a way for us to, first of all, create a car that is, you know, created during runtime based on our requirements? That is one problem that we want to address. And the second problem is, what if there was a price change for the basic car, right? Then you know, at this point we have to just, you know, hard code everything back again, and then this becomes a hefty task, and sometimes, not just sometimes, for the most part, your code is going to get broken because you're just messing up with every single class that you have in hand. And basically this totally 100% violates open close principle. That's because you're just going in and then modifying everything. If you don't know what is open close principle, I'm going to just make a video about that. But at this point, just notice with this sort of a design, it is very obvious that your design is very bad, and then it is not able to create what you want to create, and then you're absolutely 100% violating the open close principle. So with that, all of these factors in mind, wouldn't it be cool if we just kind of on runtime create a class that would enable all these factors, or enable all the factors that our customer wants? It would be cool, right? So that is why we have our decorator pattern. And you know what, I'm going to get rid of this and this, and just hit OK. Just clear out this everything here, and let's go and basic car. And if you notice, every class has cost. So what should we do? So far we have understood the strategy pattern, we have understood what is abstraction, what is polymorphism. So yeah, you guys got to think about it. Every class has got this cost method. So what are you going to do if that is the case? Well, you can put this in an interface, right? So let's do that first. So I'm going to say interface, I'm going to say extension. Okay, let me just call it car extension. Now, this is going to be not a class, but it is going to be an interface. All right, so we have this interface, and we want whoever is agreeing with the car extension interface, we want everyone to force and create this method int cost. Okay, and then we also want to do something like this, public. We want to even describe what is the name of the extension, right? So I'm going to say public string get extension, okay, get description. All right, and then I'm going to say public int get cost. So these are the two methods that if anybody is going to use this interface are bound to use this, right? Are bound to use these two methods. So let's get started by, first of all, our basic car. So this is the entry point. So our basic car actually implements car extension. Okay, and then as soon as we do that, obviously since that is an interface, it's expecting us to implement the methods, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then I'm going to just get rid of this, and I'm going to say, so basic car, that's it. I'm just going to say basic car, and I'm going to return the cost of the car, which is $100. Pretty cheap car. And don't call it cheap, Rakshit. What a dumb idiot you are. You're not helping yourself to sell this car. Yeah, it's not a cheap car though. It's a great car, but you know what? Oh, I'm going to just make this a capital letter, get cost, because somehow I'm not happy with this small c. Yep. So we have just renamed our method, which got renamed here as well in the concrete class, right? And let's continue. This time we saw the basic car. That basic car itself is a car extension to start with, and notice it is implementing car extension. Let's create other extensions. So cushion seat, right? Cushion seat. Okay, so this cushion seat is going to be a class, which is going to be a car extension, right? And then you can do things like, since this is an implementation of the interface, you have to provide the proper implementations. And then I'm going to do certain thing at this point, which is I'm going to say car extension I'm going to say car extension, just like that. Hold on for a moment. You will understand what I'm talking about in a moment's notice, right? But just bear with me until I continue doing my stuff. So we have this car extension, which is a car extension object, which is basically coming from the interface, right? So I'm going to say control O, I'm going to say generate a constructor having car extension as its argument. So what we are doing in the constructor is we are telling, okay, this dot car extension is equal to car extension, which is, in other words, initialization for the car extension, right? Let's continue. Let's add another extension for the car, music system. All right, so this music system is again a car extension, right? Which is pretty cool. And what we want to do is I'm going to first of all do these two things, and then music system, it's going to have another car extension object in the field, and let's just have a constructor load this thing up for us. All right, so we have this constructor do this. So music system, car extension, we are just initializing this, absolutely. And then the description for this is going to be, wait a second, did we give the description for cushion seat? Oops, nope. Let's go back. I'm in my cushion seat class, and the description is, I'm going to say, well, I'm going to first of all say car extension dot get description plus, and I'm going to add a comma and then a space, and then we are talking about cushion seat. Okay, so that is the description for cushion seat class. And then what is the get cost method going to do? So it's going to get the cost of the car extension first, and then it's going to add up the cost for the cushion seat. Let's say the cushion seat is about $50, which is fair enough, right? And let's continue with our music system. So music system is going to be doing the same thing, car extension dot get description concatenated with comma and a space. We're going to concatenate it with the comma and the space, and then we'll provide the description for this class, which is music system. Just bear with me, guys. I understand that you guys are not getting whatever I'm trying to tell. Just have little patience. But let's just continue. Our extension dot get cost, and then what is the cost for the music system? The cost for music system, let's say, is about $50. Fair enough, right? And let's just continue by adding another extension. We'll call this with the name maybe a camera, or let me just say rear camera. Okay, so this rear camera again is going to implement our car extension, which is going to have all the methods that it's supposed to have, and then on top of that we have this extension, car extension object, right? And then there is a constructor which is going to be initializing the car extension variable, and actually it's a field. And then the description is going to be rear camera with a comma, right? And then before that we have to provide the description for car extension dot get description, and then concatenate it with that. And let's do the same thing, car extension dot get cost, and then what is the cost for a rear camera? Let's say $70, I don't know. Alright, so now that we have taken care of our rear camera, which is a car extension, in fact our basic car itself is a car extension. But you should notice though that we don't have any field, we don't have a car extension variable here. So let's all put this together in play, and then we'll see the power of decorator pattern. Now I'm going to do, let us say first of all, let us use abstraction, right? Let us say On to the left hand side, it is going to be a car extension. Okay, extension is going to be, first of all, having a, let us say we want the music system and the cushioning, and that's it. We don't want rear camera at this point. It's a new music system, but look at this. Music system is expecting car extension, car extension. So it's expecting an object of the type car extension. Now, how do I even pass an object of the type car extension? If you notice, what I did for every extension is, so let's take this cushion seat. This cushion seat is a car extension. So because of the power of polymorphism, we are in a good position to pass in our main for this music system. You can say something like a new cushion seat. Now, if you notice, new cushion seat is basically a car extension. Okay, so that is why the red mark from this bracket is gone, which is, you know, music system was expecting a car extension variable, which is what we passed, so it's happy, right? Not a big deal at all. And now hopefully you know why I had this car extension field. That's because we want to initialize the car extension field that it is passing on to the music system, right? So this music system is having a constructor which is going to accept a car extension data type, you know, a car extension object to be precise. So and then it's loading up with the current car extension from the music system field. So you know, that is what is happening here. It's a new music system and then new cushion seat. So I think that's sufficient for our car. Now I'm going to, again, if you notice, cushion seat is expecting another car extension variable. Now what do you think is our car extension variable at this point? If you thought our car extension variable is the basic car, then you're awesome. You're like, you know, you're like the genius of computer science and the genius of algorithms. You're the genius of, nah, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so it's going to be a new basic car, right? So if you notice, new basic car did not accept anything. Why? That's because we never said the basic car should accept anything, and then we never have a car extension field here on top. So if you notice, we are just creating class on class on class dynamically. So during runtime, Java compiler will take care of creating the class for us. And then because of the beauty of abstraction, we can do things like this: extension dot get description, which would then print the description for a system that contains a music system, a cushion seat, and that is a basic car. So it's going to print the description for the basic car that contains cushion seat, music system. And then I'm going to just wrap this thing with an S out. So extension dot get description. Ta-da! That's cool, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to say S out extension dot get cost. Now what cost is it going to get? Well, if you notice, first of all, let me run this and then show it to you what's going on. You see, it prints out basic car, cushion seat, and music system. Wow, it's all together. Yes, it's all together. That's why we created this. And if you notice, it's containing basic car, comma, cushion seat, comma, music system. Do you know the reason why? The reason why is because we said in our music system, to start with, let's just look at our music system class. We said when we do get description, we are trying to get the description of the object that we passed. Okay, description of the object that we passed, and then concatenate that description with our music system description. Likewise, if we look at our cushion seat class, we are getting the description for the car extension object, okay, and then concatenating it with our name of the class, which is cushion seat, right? So that is why we are able to get what we are able to get. Now, so basically, how does this even work? how does this even work is because, number one, you should understand everything here is an implementation of the car extension interface. To start with, that is why it's working here. And then you should notice another thing, which is, when you build a car, it is, adding a cushion seat and a music system. But we can do one thing like this as well. Things like this as well. A cushion seat with a new music setup, music system, and then it is loaded for the basic car. If I run this now again, the order is going to be again basic car, music system, and the cushion seat. So the order is always coming from right to left. Okay, so that is the second thing that you should notice. And the third thing is, you can wrap it up with as many classes as you want, as long as that class requires an object of as long as that class requires an object of car extension, you're good. So now if I run this, it's going to have a music system, a cushion seat with a cushion seat. It's just added $250. And then if you notice why it's adding, it's because that we are doing the same thing here. We are getting the cost and then we are adding $50 of the current class, which is cushion seat. That's why we had it go from 200 to 250. Okay, so that is one more thing. And then this chaining of event can continue to happen as long as like I said, you can now, if you want, you can chain this with a rear camera, okay, and add a bracket here. You'll all be good. You'll all be really good. So if I run this again, you see rear camera is added and the cost is $320. Don't you think this thing is awesome? You just set up the basic extensions, whatever you want, and then you can create the class in whatever permutation combination you want it to be. Don't you think it's so much, so much good thing that is happening, so much power that is, stemming up from this sort of a design? So this is what is the basic idea of the decorator pattern. You're decorating one object with another object, with another object, with another object, with another object. But the core key concept is all these objects implement a common interface. Got it? So that is the core key concept in which, everything is implementing a common interface. So that is the power of decorator pattern. So to recap, and before we go, let me just show you the class diagram so you'll understand what's going on. Java class diagrams, come on. Yeah, that's cool. Let's get rid of this main. Come on, IntelliJ, help my dear students. Haha, not my students, but my subscribers to understand what's going on. So you see there is an interface, and then there is a class, a concrete implementation of the car extension interface, and then there is another class, there is another class, and there is another class. And by the way, let's address one more important thing, which was a problem initially. So what if the basic price of the car is changed? Let us say the car cost is about, now $150. Let's say, no, I just created an amazing technology in my car that would make the car fly. So I'm just going to bump up my basic car price itself to an insanely high amount, which is fine. You can do just get cost it here, inside the get cost for the basic car, you just bump up the price. If I run this, you see, it just adds up. Wow. So this is a cool car, right? Because, it's flying and then it's just made out of bricks. I'm just kidding, guys. Okay, now, what did I just do? Okay, so here is the the UML diagram. There is first of all, you should always realize there is a field that is coming directly from the interface. Okay, and then, and for the most part, you should always realize the basic thing is also an implementation of the interface, and the basic thing, the most core thing, will never have a a field pertaining to a car extension. You got it? It might have size, it might have wheels, but it will never have a car extension. So that is the core key concept while you design that, because if I make this have an extension, car extension object here in our main, it would expect us to pass a car extension object here as well. And if you pass that, it continues to chain and chain and chain, it will never end. So if you want to make something get terminated, then this is the only way. You don't have an object of this interface type. So I think that I've covered this decorator pattern for the most part, I guess. And just play with the code. Everything is available in the description. And then for your sake, I've even included another playground code, which is almost similar, but this code is going to just help you do things like basic car service, engine fixing, oil changing, tire rotation, tire spinning, wheel alignment, whatever. If I haven't added, it's your job to add, and then play around and then get to know the beauty of the decorator pattern, because that's going to decorate your program code in such a way that you're going to just like yourself and then love yourself forever. Yeah, I mean forever. No. That's all, guys, for this decorator pattern. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Yeah, and subscribe if you like to. Yeah, I know you guys are so kind enough that you'll do. And then share if your friend does not understand what that is. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching this video. Bye bye.